We will discuss about Dalton's law of partial pressures, kinetic molecular theory of gases, and deviation of real gases from ideal behavior. John Dalton in 1807 studied the pressure exerted by a mixture of non-reactive gases enclosed in a vessel. Based on these studies, he formulated the Dalton's law of partial pressures. According to this law, the total pressure exerted by a mixture of two or more non-reactive gases enclosed in a vessel at a given temperature is equal to the sum of partial pressures exerted by individual gases. Partial pressure is the pressure which these gases would exert if they are enclosed separately in that vessel at the same temperature. For example, consider the vessel A enclosed with A moles of hydrogen gas at constant temperature and volume with a partial pressure of 0.30 bar. Similarly, vessel B enclosed with B moles of oxygen with a partial pressure of 0.45 bar, and the vessel C enclosed with A moles of hydrogen and B moles of oxygen at constant temperature and volume. Then, according to Dalton's law of partial pressure, the total pressure is the sum of partial pressure of hydrogen plus partial pressure of oxygen, that is 0.30 bar plus 0.45 bar. So the total pressure is equal to 0.75 bar. The Dalton's law of partial pressures can be mathematically represented as P total equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3 etc. at constant temperature and volume, where P total is the total pressure exerted by the mixture of gases, whereas P1, P2, P3 etc. represent the partial pressures of individual gases 1, 2, 3 etc. The criteria for Dalton's law of partial pressure is that the gases should not react with each other. As long as the gases don't react with each other, they will exert the same pressure whether they are alone or participating in a mixture. Each gas exerts its own pressure, which is called the partial pressure. The total pressure is the sum of the partial pressures of oxygen and nitrogen. Here we can see that the total pressure is 752, which is the sum of 159 and 593. A container with volume V and temperature T contains three gases with partial pressures P1, P2 and P3. From the ideal gas equation PV equal to nRT, the partial pressure P1 can be written as N1 RT divided by V. Similarly, partial pressure P2 can be written as N2 RT divided by V, and the partial pressure P3 can be written as N3 RT divided by V, where N1, N2 and N3 are number of moles of gases 1, 2 and 3. According to Dalton's law of partial pressures, the total pressure or P total is the sum of partial pressures P1, P2 and P3. On substituting the values of P1, P2 and P3, we get P total equal to N1 RT divided by V plus N2 RT divided by V plus N3 RT divided by V, which can be simplified as P total equal to N1 plus N2 plus N3 into RT divided by V. When we divide P1 by P total, we get P1 by P total equal to N1 divided by N1 plus N2 plus N3. The RT by V and V by RT will get cancelled each other. This can be simplified as P1 by P total equal to N1 divided by N, where N is N1 plus N2 plus N3. N1 by N can be written as X1, where X1 represents the mole fraction. Mole fraction is the ratio of number of moles of a substance divided by total number of moles. P1 by P total equal to N1 by N, which is again equal to X1. So we can write P1 by P total equal to X1. Rearranging this equation, we get P1 equal to X1 into P total. Similarly, P2 equal to X2 into P total and P3 equal to X3 into P total. So generally we can write Pi equal to Xi into P total, where Pi is the partial pressure of the ith gas and Xi is the mole fraction of ith gas. The equation Pi equal to Xi into P total is used to calculate the partial pressure of individual gas. A neon dioxygen mixture contains 70.6 gram dioxygen and 167.5 gram neon. If the pressure of the mixture of gases in the cylinder is 25 bar, what is the partial pressure of dioxygen and neon in the mixture? The partial pressure is given by mole fraction into total pressure. To find the mole fraction, first we should find the number of moles of dioxygen and neon. To find the number of moles, the equation is given mass divided by molar mass. The mass of dioxin is given in the question as 70.6 gram and the molar mass of dioxin is 32. So number of moles of dioxin is given by 70.6 divided by 32 and the answer is 2.21 mole. Similarly, number of moles of neon is given by 167.5 gram divided by 20 gram mole inverse, which is the molar mass of neon. So the number of moles of neon is 8.375 mole. Next we should find the mole fraction of dioxin and neon. Mole fraction of dioxin is given by number of moles of dioxin divided by total number of moles, that is number of moles of dioxin plus number of moles of neon, that is 2.21 divided by 2.21 plus 8.375 and the answer is 0.21. Similarly, the mole fraction of neon is given by number of moles of neon divided by total number of moles, that is number of moles of neon plus number of moles of dioxin, that is 8.375 divided by 2.21 plus 8.375. So the mole fraction of neon is given by 0.79. Now the partial pressure is given by mole fraction into total pressure. So the partial pressure of oxygen is given by mole fraction of oxygen into total pressure, that is 0.21 into 25 bar and the answer is 5.25 bar. Similarly, partial pressure of neon is given by mole fraction of neon into total pressure, that is 0.79 into 25 bar and the answer is 19.75 bar. Next we will discuss the kinetic molecular theory of gases, also known as KMT theory. The postulates are: all gases are made up of very large number of extremely small particles called molecules. The molecules are separated from one another by large spaces so that the actual volume occupied by the molecule is negligible as compared to the total volume of the gas. The molecules are not at rest but possess rapid random motion. During their motion, they collide with each other and also against the walls of the container. The pressure of the gas is due to the bombardment of the gas molecules against the walls of the container. The collisions of the molecules with each other and with the walls of the container are perfectly elastic, that is, there is no loss or gain of kinetic energy. However, there may be redistribution of energy during such collisions. There are no attractive forces between molecules of the gas. They are completely independent of each other. At any instant, different molecules possess different velocities and hence different energies. However, the average kinetic energy of the molecules is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. The gases which obey the ideal gas equation are called ideal gases. The ideal gas equation is PV equal to nRT. So, if we plot a graph of PV versus pressure at a constant temperature, according to Boyle's law, we should get a straight line parallel to the x-axis. According to Boyle's law, the product of pressure and volume is a constant at a constant temperature for a fixed amount of gas. Real gases are gases that does not obey the ideal gas equation. The real gases include almost all the gases like nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, oxygen, etc. The plot of PV against pressure for the real gases shows a significant deviation from the ideal gas behavior. That is, the real gases do not obey the ideal gas equation. Real gases do not obey ideal gas equation at all conditions of temperature and pressure. This can be understood from PV versus pressure graph for the different gases. For ideal gases, product of pressure and volume is a constant for any pressure. So the graph obtained is a straight line parallel to the pressure axis. But for real gases like hydrogen and helium, the pressure volume plot increases with increase in pressure. Similarly, for the real gases like carbon monoxide and methane, the value of PV first decreases, reaches a minimum, and then increases. The reasons for deviation of real gases from ideal behavior. This can be attributed to two wrong assumptions of kinetic molecular theory of gases. They are: first, the actual volume of the molecules is negligible compared to the volume of the gas. Second, there is no force of attraction between the gas particles. These two assumptions become wrong at high pressure and low temperature. At high pressure and low temperature, the atoms of the real gases come very close to each other and they will not follow the above mentioned postulates. That is, at high pressure and low temperature, the atoms of molecules are very close to each other, and definitely they will have a volume which cannot be neglected when compared to the total volume of the gas. Similarly, when the atoms are very close to each other, definitely there will be a force of attraction between the atoms of the molecules. So due to these two wrong assumptions, the real gases deviate from the ideal gas equation. Since the real gas does not obey ideal gas equation PV equal to nRT, we will slightly modify the ideal gas equation, and this equation is called van der Waals equation. The van der Waals equation is applicable to real gases, and the equation is P plus n square A divided by V square into V minus NB equal to nRT, where P is the pressure of the gas, V is the volume, R is the universal gas constant, T is the absolute temperature, N is the number of moles, A and B are called van der Waals constants. The term n square A divided by V square is related to the pressure correction, and the term NB is related to the volume correction. Significance of the van der Waals constants. A is the measure of magnitude of intermolecular attractive forces within the gas, and B is related to the volume of the particles of the gas. The deviation of real gases from ideal behavior can be measured in terms of the compressibility factor Z, which is the ratio of product of pressure and volume, and nRT. Mathematically, compressibility factor Z is given by PV divided by nRT. For the ideal gas, the compressibility factor Z is equal to 1 at all temperature and pressures. So the graph of Z versus P will be a straight line parallel to the pressure axis. For the real gases, the value of Z deviates from unity.